a1a.com. And this is the Florida Keys Real Estate Guys. My name is Mark Mills.
And I'm Mykael Marinelli of American Caribbean Real Estate.
And moving right along, we have got an incredible show for you
Yes,
today.
we do.
Sheriff Rick Ramsey is here. Shall we say Commander Corey Bryant?
It's just Captain.
Captain Corey Bryant.
I don't want to...
Just Captain.
Yeah, that doesn't fly very far in this operation.
For sure.
So, Captain Corey Bryant, Sheriff Rick Ramsey are with us. We're going to talk about season. We're going to talk about crime. We're going to talk about hurricanes and all the above. But first of all, we want to catch a little wrap on the people who make this program happen every week, and that is Florida Keys Sunshine Title of the Florida Keys. Ginny Pinnell up at 103 and the rest of the gals there.
Great job as always.
No surprise closings. Mm-hmm. That's what it's all about. And Realtor 1, Realtor 2, the bottom line is, folks, you know what? The last thing you want to be thinking about is some kind of evil, ugly surprise coming up 7 days before closing.
Surveys, title, all that stuff is so critical and sometimes overlooked in the grand scheme of things when people are thinking about buying the home. But that's it's like the bassist, right, Harry?
Yeah, well,
the guy in the band. It's the bassist who doesn't get the credit, but keeps the beat going.
Drummer.
Nah, I'm a drummer, so I.
What do you call the girl who sleeps with everybody in the band? Drummer's girlfriend. Brutal, I know. Yeah. See, you're going to start there.
Welcome to our show.
It's always this way on this radio.
Oh, yes, it is.
We just went there within 2 minutes.
There you go.
All right. Fun. Good time.
Great show.
No FCC ownership of us.
Yeah, the error control, mind you. So, bottom line, it's all good, folks. Look, we have kind of an interesting situation here because we are on video, so you can go to Facebook, and that's the A1A Media site. Mm-hmm. Okay, and for YouTube, it is TV A1A.
TV A1A.
There you go.
A1A Media. There you go.
So, Facebook, you want to watch us there. YouTube, you want to watch us there. Type in that magic address, and hey,
there we are.
Double your pleasure, double your fun.
We're kind of syndicated into a podcast later, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Stitcher, all the normal places where you're going to find a podcast. Listen in.
Yeah. Cool. Well, and we've got 82. Actually 81 other episodes in there, too. So the thrust of today is going to be about hurricane season and getting ready and stuff like that. But first of all, as season, season has started to wrap up finally.
Yay.
Well, and the traffic hasn't started to die down too much. Now, if you're looking at the wide shot, the 4-shot, gentleman here in the light-colored shirt is Sheriff Rick Ramsey. The gentleman over here in the dark shirt with the star on his chest, that's Captain Corey Bryant from the Islamorada portion of Monroe County. And thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Our pleasure.
Can't tell you how much appreciate you guys coming on. I know you guys are busy and making time for our viewers and listeners.
Viewers and listeners.
Yes.
That's right.
Spitting that out.
We're confused as can be.
Right.
So,
it happens.
It was so much easier when we just had listeners. I didn't have to wear a clean shirt.
Yeah, exactly.
Standing up. You said, look, I got my Class A's on today.
There you go. Absolutely.
Good deal.
Guys looking good. Guys, season's over with. Whew. How do we do, first of all?
I guess I'll start. Okay, I don't know.
No, go ahead, Sheriff.
Well, this is difficult. It's when the people aren't here, everybody wants them here, and they're all saying, "When they can't get these people back down here?" And then when they are here, we're saying we want them to go back home. And it's so tough because we're a tourist-driven community.
Yes,
we require the tourism to function, survive. But
yet, there's no reason for us to be here.
I mean, it's paradise. Everybody wants to be here, but yet for us who live here, it's frustrating at times, especially in certain key areas of the traffic, which is like now Islamorada, the 90 to the 80.
Mm-hmm. You said it.
Down south, Big Pine area, Big Coppet. Anywhere you have a 2-lane road in Monroe, we're going to have some major traffic congestion because you can
bottleneck.
Well, you can only flow so much traffic on a 2-lane highway, no matter what we do. It's the number one call for the sheriff's office.
Yeah, most definitely here in
Islamorada.
Right?
No doubt.
Yeah,
yes,
and people think we can snap our fingers and make it all go away. But we say, look, we can't be behind every driver. Mm-hmm. And it's tough that we're trying to be proactive policing in the neighborhoods, trying to follow up stuff, doing police work. But, we're stopping cars. We're trying to deal with it. But we just have too much of a volume, so it's good yet bad.
Right. I would like to be a fly on the wall in the room where someone decided, let's put a third lane down the middle, and they can pass there, and they'll be respectful of each other.
They'll follow the rules. Sure they will.
Yeah, of course they will.
And we all know, we see a lot of their traffic congestions or problems are related to Dade County drivers. No disrespect, but they come down. They're a different way of driving up there.
Absolutely.
The guy with the Ferrari was a classic example.
It's every week we see somebody with a pursuit, a chase, or something goes on, and the driver winds up being a weekend driver coming down for the weekend or a day tripper from Dade to our counties. And Dade, we've all been there. They're speeding, tailgating, they're beeping the horn. They're
aggressive.
Aggressive. It's
I mean, all you got to do is find out when you get out of here, get off the stretch, and get on the Turnpike extension. Right. That's, to me, one of the scariest drives there is in South Florida.
It's a lot worse than this. I mean, people are jockeying for position and everything. It's it's crazy. It is absolutely insane.
Yeah. When you get down here, they still drive like they're in Miami.
Right.
And it's like, plan ahead. You made it. It's a beautiful Keys. Enjoy the trip. Look at the beautiful waters, but they're still tailgating, passing, passing, speeding, reckless driving.
You're down here.
Yeah. It's a road rage. And when we see road rage incidents, they're generally Dade County people that are involved, starting or one on the other. Our residents here are just caught up in the mix. Mm-hmm. And, we say season. Okay, we know generally Christmas time to Easter is the busiest time.
Right.
Sure. If people wait up north with their family and kids and grandkids to have Christmas, but the day after, bam, they're down here. It's like you hit a switch.
Right.
And then they're here through Easter, and then it gets a little bit better, but the days of having a summer almost no season are almost gone. I was a kid here in the 70s.
It kind of threads through now,
summer,
doesn't it?
the roads were empty.
Bowling alley.
Yeah. Now, it does get less than it is now, but we're never going to get to those days. They're long since gone.
No, and they are long since gone.
Progress is great in some ways, but some way it's not the Keys that we always remember.
Now, crime rate-wise, though, I mean, we've had this massive influx of people coming through here, certainly in the last decade or so. Crime rate-wise, though, we're doing pretty good, aren't we?
Well, I got to say, I'm blessed to say we are, and I got great people like Captain Corey Bryan here. But it's we were really worried after Hurricane Irma what we would see, because historically, after a major incident like this in some communities, you see a rise in crime as a result of people who come down to target and take advantage of people who have already been victim of something really bad.
You're looking at bedlam and pandemonium.
Sure.
But we were very aggressive after the hurricane to have static checkpoints in certain neighborhoods, roadblocks in certain areas, checking, verifying, on top of stuff, arresting looters. And immediately we shut it down really fast. Yeah. But I was still kind of concerned. What will we see at the end of the year for a crime rate based on what we just went through, the worst hurricane since Hurricane Donna in 1960.
Right.
Thank God, we saw a reduction in crime this year, 16.3%.
That is fantastic.
Monroe right now is at an all-time low for crime per capita.
That's amazing.
All-time.
Wow.
So I'm so thankful and blessed. Well, I got great people around me and working with me, and we set good directions where we want to be. We're very focused on our community policing partnerships, trying to attack crime before it happens, prevent, deter crime if we can. If it happens, be aggressive to solve it. And
I think, too, you've created a culture with the officers that all work in a great team. I always tell folks as they're looking at buying property, I say, I think we've got the greatest police force there is. They're here to help. They're not here to antagonize.
Thanks, Mike. And that's absolutely
true.
You
do such a great job.
So good. Well, he's being very modest, too, because one of the things he really pushes for all of us as his commanders and stuff are that, we work really well with the neighborhoods.
Right.
Got great crime watches and stuff. All the people in the communities are actually out there helping us with everything. I mean, we do our cleanups and stuff, all of our community stuff that we're doing, and having them involved with us, our Citizens Police Academy, that's all so important because now they see what we're doing and how we're doing it, and we're also participating with them. Changes the whole outlook for everything.
It's one of the really cool things I've seen about the Keys over the years is that, you go into somebody's neighborhood, and it can be anywhere, any island, up and down, and you ask them, who's in charge of the Monroe County Sheriffs here? They know. I mean, they know. They absolutely know. It's not Rick Ramsey. He's the sheriff overall. But they know the Corey Bryans.
But that's part of my community policing efforts. And like you say, you go to Rotary Chamber leaderships, you'll see our people at all these meetings.
Always.
All my commanders are required to be volunteering, giving back. Children's Shelters or Mark or United Ways, Rotary Chambers. We want to have these relationships early on. We want to have these partnerships. We want to know what's going on. We want you to know Rick Ramsey or Corey Bryan so you can call and say, hey, Corey, this is going on.
Yeah.
But what's important to me, too, is my commanders, just what you said. In my geographic areas, I had 4 patrol stations with an XO and CO, lieutenant and captain, who are in charge of those areas.
Right.
And it's important that those particular geographic communities know who my representatives are. Mm-hmm. And Corey doesn't do it any better than Corey. Everyone in Alameda knows who Captain Corey Bryan is.
Absolutely.
And they got his phone number. He's there 7 days a week. Doesn't matter what the event is, you'll see Corey out there.
Oh, I see you directing traffic at San Pedro.
Traffic. He's out there leading by example. That's what we tell my commanders is, look, it's not the higher you go, the less work you do. The higher you go for Rick Ramsey, the more work, the more responsibility, the more task on you, the more your personal life is affected. That at some point in time, work is almost has to be right up there with your family when you get higher up. Hate to say it, but when you get these high levels, so much counts on Corey.
But honestly, it's all in a good way. I mean, because we've all grown up and lived here. I've been here for 33 years.
Yeah, sure. Well, I was going to say, Rick, how long have you been with the Sheriff's Department?
Been in the Sheriff's Office for 32 years, and I've lived here for 43.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, I grew up working with him and stuff, so the point is that we don't mind it. I mean, I really don't. I love the people here. I love this community. It's great. And all it does is gives me an opportunity, working with the Sheriff's Office, to be more involved with everybody here. So, some people may not like their jobs or may not think it's a great thing. This is a great thing for us.
That's great.
I got to tell you, and doing these cleanups and stuff, I know I'm kind of a little bit focused on that. They are such a great thing. When you look out there and see all this trash and all this stuff that's happening out in the water, it's despicable. When we're out here now and we're doing these cleanups and helping everybody,
it's huge.
It makes such a big difference.
That sense of community, as I mentioned, it goes back to what we said about culture that you've created.
Well, I tell people all the time is, look, people always ask about why we picking up people's trash. Well, I say, who else is going to do it?
Right.
It's easy to say it's not my job.
Yeah.
But we focus on, I tell my commanders, I want to find less reason why we can't get something done. I want you to find more energy to figure out how to get it done.
But it is our job.
It should be everybody's job.
Right.
Yeah,
but
it's called pride of ownership.
Yes.
What I tell people is that, listen, as we grow here and we have family, friends, and visitors and grandkids, you want to have a clean, safe neighborhood. You want your kids to be able to go out and play. You want to be on a boat and snorkeling and not see trash, garbage, debris.
Right.
Our environment is so critical and sensitive. But besides the fact, my belief is truly, I think that dirty, disheveled neighborhoods are more crime-ridden.
Sure.
No question about it.
Cleaner neighborhoods are more apt to be less crime and safer. So we think cleaner neighborhoods, we say better, cleaner, safer streets, better, cleaner, safer neighborhoods. And I'm a true believer in the broken windows theory and focusing on community policing, partnerships, clean neighborhoods or safe neighborhoods. And I got to believe that we've continued to see dramatic reductions in crime, that what we're doing has to be effective. It has to be working.
Well,
Tony,
and you two are going to be the key to this, too.
Yeah, part of
you're
the deal.
You're realtors, and you're seeing this. You're able to tell the people, look, this is what the Sheriff's Office has done. This is where we're at with stuff. So it's very important.
Or graffiti. We see no graffiti.
No, that's an amazing thing, is that you don't see any graffiti.
Right.
You don't see, and that's a big part of when I'm speaking to a lot of our clientele, is saying, listen, because I'll get that question, hey, how's crime? I said, we're very, very fortunate. Our crime, especially violent crime, really is not exactly. And if it is, as we discussed, it's usually a specific issue. Mm-hmm. It isn't anonymous.
Right.
And really, crimes that happen here seem to be more crimes of opportunity.
There's a guy that I've known for about 40 years, and you gentlemen may know him. His name is Tony Boza. And Tony was the basically the chief of police, mayor of New York City for a number of years. And then he moved to the Twin Cities where I grew up. Mm-hmm. And I was walking into work one day, and Chief's walking out, and he always used to pick on me and say I look like who was the guy who was the quarterback for Chicago?
McMahon.
McMahon, because we both had Wayfarers on. Right. Bozo wasn't all that creative, but he said, and I'm going to use a word here, but it's not a real bad word, but he said, the bottom line is, if you want to clean up crime, clean up your neighborhood, because people don't go to shitty neighborhoods to steal.
Yeah.
Right.
True. And, and I tell people with the crime and the graffiti, you go to Miami Hialeah, you see those walls and buildings that graffitied up. And I ask people all the time, when you see that, what do you think? And they always tell me the same thing. Gangs, crime, violence.
Absolutely.
Right. So even if it doesn't exist, the existence in the mind,
perception
if
is
it's
reality.
in your mind, it's reality. Yes, exactly, Michael. So I tell my commanders, I hate graffiti. I don't want to see it. I tell them, once you see it or become aware of it, how long do you have to get
24 hours.
24 hours. You got 24 hours to get rid of it. I tell them, I don't care what you got to do. One time they said, what if it's on someone's building or wall? Paint it out.
Paint
it. What if they don't like it? They can sue me.
Yeah.
That's okay. But it's like a cancer. If we don't stop it, it continues to go on. And they paint it. We paint it out. They paint it. I say, paint it back. I don't care. Eventually they'll give up. Or we'll catch them. It's hard to catch them, but we don't want to see shopping carts. We pick up shopping carts and we bring them back HUD housing areas.
Right.
And besides the fact that they do cost you money, if we don't bring them back, who pays for it? The consumer.
Absolutely.
We do.
You know, and
absolutely.
You know,
it's the little things.
I spent a lot of time in San Francisco growing up, you know, in college, and one of the things I noticed because they had a horrible graffiti problem there.
Okay.
And I've always thought that they say like certain things are a gateway drug. I've always thought that graffiti is a gateway.
It's more crime.
Type of crime. Right. You know, that's where kids will start. Right. Okay, great. Yep. I got ahead of it, and it snowballs from there. That's a thing I've always picked up. So neutralizing it when it starts, I think, is super effective.
We focused on our community policing is try to fix the small problem before they become big problems. Mm-hmm. And we focus on quality of life. Instead of just being reactive to crime, we want to be proactive, try to prevent, deter if we can, and be part of the solution versus part of the problem, and knowing that little problems become big problems. Mm-hmm. So we do stuff that most people don't do, you know, whether it be trash or graffiti or someone's got a flat tire on the side of the road. Instead of calling AAA, we're going to change your tire. You know, it's someone's garbage cans in Mill Street, we're going to pick it up. Your dog's running loose, we're bringing it home. You know, we've seen pictures of us before with a patrol car with a dog in the passenger seat we picked up.
Yeah. All of these are reasons, folks, that you want to live in Florida Keys.
And I think that's another major reason why real estate-wise we've picked up so great is because of what you guys do. There's some other areas that people are looking at vacation areas when they're thinking about buying a property. Sure. But one of the caveats might be is, okay, I'm looking at this area, but there's crime and considerations that I got to look at, whereas you look at the Florida Keys and you go, hey, wait a minute, that's a safe place for my family, for my belongings, for my house if I'm not here part of the year, and I think that's, again, a testament to what you guys do.
That small town feeling, that hometown. So.
We will and we're going to stop for
a breather.
I was hoping to get one before, but then he started talking.
Yeah,
Mike, what are you going to do? Jeez, I'm telling you, folks, this is really it's a great pleasure for us to have Sheriff Rick Ramsey and Captain Corey Bryan on with us today. If you'll stay with us, we'll be back with a whole bunch more on hurricanes. They had a hurricane test down in Marathon for all of the Keys. We'll talk about that.
Great stuff.
So stick around. We'll be right back.
Hello, this is Mykael Marinelli of American Caribbean Real Estate with your Real Estate Conch featured property. Today, spotlighting 125 Venetian Drive in Islamorada. Here, you can enjoy the phenomenal Islamorada lifestyle in this just-built waterfront home. Everything's new. 3 bedrooms upstairs and a separate guest suite downstairs. Exceptional features include stunning granite kitchen, veranda, sumptuous master bath, and a homeowner's park with its rare sandy beach. This is your bucket list opportunity. For more information on this home and other power buys, contact me at 305-439-7730 and visit my award-winning Florida Keys lifestyle blog at therealestateconch.com.
Surprise! Great for a birthday, anniversary party, but a real estate transaction? That is not what you want. You don't want surprises when it comes to closing a real estate deal. The way to a smooth closing with no surprises is Sunshine Title of the Florida Keys. Call Ginny or Pam or even Irene. Hey, these 3 gals will take care of you, close your transaction smoothly with no surprises. Real estate closings, 1031 exchange, escrow, all your needs are taken care of there with no surprises. It's Sunshine Title of the Florida Keys. Call 305-451-0032 or just Google up Sunshine Title of the Florida Keys.
Hello, Radio A1A listeners. This is Mykael Marinelli of American Caribbean Real Estate. Let me ask you, are you tired of the same old real estate agents doing the same old stuff the same old way? I provide a level of service that most agents can't, don't, or won't. Contact me to find your piece of paradise here in the Florida Keys or to assist you in finding a great agent nationwide. As part of the Christie's International Real Estate Network, I've got a team of agents that can take care of you no matter where you are. So no matter what your real estate needs are, with 22 years of service, contact me, Mykael Marinelli, the Real Estate Conch of American Caribbean Real Estate, at 305-439-7730, or visit me at my award-winning Florida Keys Real Estate and Lifestyle blog at therealestateconch.com. I look forward to working with you soon.
As a musician, I understand why Harry likes this because it's got that walking bass
line
in it. I think he just, it just drums him right up. No pun intended. So if you're on the fore-shot, which I think you
Yes.
are, to the far left is Captain Corey Bryan of the Alamorada office of Monroe County Sheriff's. The guy in the nice shirt there, cleanest shirt in the group.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sheriff Rick Ramsey, Mykael Marinelli,
Yes.
of American Caribbean
Real Estate.
There you go. And Mark Mills, retired realtor,
Yes.
and kind of a gad about
Bon vivant.
nothing. Yeah, I got
Man
no
about
reason
town.
for living except this radio show.
There you go.
Please tune in.
No pressure.
There you
No
go.
pressure at all.
None whatsoever. Please go to Facebook and like
Yes.
us. If you want to see the video of this program and you're used to just listening to the audio, you can go to YouTube. There you go. Thank
YouTube
you.
and
that
Facebook.
stroke didn't hurt me at all.
No, not at all.
So,
Couldn't tell.
Yeah, go to YouTube and you put in the A1A Media.
A1A
and,
Media.
Boom, there you are.
There you can
go
watch
to
it.
Facebook, put the same crap up in the address bar, you're good to go.
You know it.
So we are talking with these two gentlemen about Florida Keys season, crime rate, what we've gotten through so far. Tremendous amount of reasons to come down here and look for a property, place to live. But also, this is a great place to live just because, crime rate is down how much?
16.3% this past year.
That's amazing, man.
fantastic.
There's
Yeah.
nowhere else in the county or in the country
Especially-
where that's going on.
Especially considering we have such a major event in Fantasy Fest.
Right.
And things like that we're able to actually bring it down. That's
Well,
great.
just all of our
Great job.
transients that come
Yeah.
down here and stuff. And like
Yeah.
the sheriff was saying, I mean, we have
Easy
a lot of people.
place to be homeless.
Right. And
Yeah.
But these
Sadly.
guys stay on top of it. It's
Sure.
really, really good. And again, like we were talking earlier, I think a lot of it is just, our great involvement with the community and the community giving back to helping the sheriff's office with everything too.
Yeah, and
So
I
it's
don't want to mad
key.
whack Key West with Fantasy Fest. I mean, that has actually been a pretty well-oiled event
Yeah.
for a long time. No pun intended
Done
there.
a great job. But they have
Very
done a good job.
nice.
Yeah, well,
The gentleman at La Ti Da will enjoy that one.
I'm sure. Thank you very much. Moving right along. So, you guys were just involved in a test evacuation, basically, for hurricanes. That kind of a drill, if you will.
Mark, every year before the hurricane season, the county EOC, Emergency
Right.
Management Division, puts together a hurricane drill.
Right.
And it's monitored by the state. And it's all players involved from state, local, federal. We have people from the Navy base. We have people down there from the city of Key West, Marathon,
Right.
Alamorada.
Right.
All the different departments have to be there. All the different Florida Keys Electric Co-op and
Our
Keys Energy.
infrastructure here is a lot more complicated than people give it credit for.
It is, and especially since we're so long, and if we were squared off, it'd be a lot different. But
Sure.
and we have 5 cities in one county, and,
Yep.
and the geographic nature makes it challenging at best.
Big
But
time.
so we did have a drill this morning. They have a scenario based, and they give you a simulated drill of what you're seeing of a storm out in the Atlantic somewhere.
Sure.
So many days out, and they give you some information on it. Then they come up the next scenario. Will tell you what the storm is allegedly doing. It's all they're making up as they go along or planned.
God,
And they
that's
try
got to
to-
be scary all
And
on its
well,
own
they try
right
to throw
there.
you curveballs,
Sure.
so you
Yeah.
get a plan
Of
for
course.
what's
Irma
happening
was
today.
Irma was a major curveball.
Yeah.
But we
Like
thought
that
it was
fast.
going to hit,
Yeah.
So they're just trying to change the scenario and keep you guessing and keep you changing what you're going to do. And all of a sudden, okay, boom, next report comes out, done a crazy Ivan, or it's gone from a 1 to a 4, whatever it may be. And they're trying to test your plans, what you're going to do, what would you do, how would you do it, what would you do at this point in time. We're 48 hours out. What's your plans right now? What are you doing right now?
Right.
So, and then as they're doing this, they go through and they're checking, asking questions, and then they do the storm. In the end, when it's over, then they do a hot wash. They go through and try to analyze and ask you questions. Why did you do this, or what did you think about this, or maybe you should have done this, or explain your actions, so you can better tell people what you did and why, and or learn from whether your decision was a good or bad decision. Because you want to try to run through it and get the cobwebs off before the hurricane season. Hopefully, there's no need for it, but new players come into place, whether it be electric company or aqueduct authority or sheriff's office or Navy base. There's a brand new base captain. Base captain's coming in next week, so he's not even from here. So he's here at the drill.
That's a big deal.
It is. He's the base captain.
Yeah.
We surely want him to be a part of the solution and know what he can expect from us and be
Right.
prepared too, because this has got to be new stuff for him.
Sure.
So as new people come in and out, health department, and SBCA, you name it, there's a representative from every department that could be needed for here. It's a good chance for people to either bring in new people and get them ready to go,
Right.
and or make sure they feel confident see what may have changed with FEMA and mitigation and the county. What is the county's plans? The county has changed their plans. If so, what? How does that fall into place? What do you need for tracking of resources or to ask for certain stuff? How do you do stuff to make sure you get the reimbursements from FEMA? We all hear in the news about the county and city struggling to try to get money back.
Right.
And the government seems to always find some reason why. Oh, we're going to deny that claim.
Amazing what happens.
Really?
Oh, we know the county is fighting a $6 million claim for the base camp. They said, oh, well, you didn't tell us ahead of time, so I'm sorry, we're not going to pay you. So
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's like you're dealing with a windstorm flood. Always some reason why they don't want to pay the claim. It's not much different when it comes to FEMA.
Holy cow.
I hate to say, but you're listening on FEMA. Sorry.
It's the truth.
Truth hurts. But, so anyway, this is a good time for us all to get together. And, everything is based on partnerships, whether it be in law enforcement, firefighting. We talked about earlier about the fire up there at the bungalows and how well that worked because of partnerships. Same thing here. If something bad happens, we all have to come together.
Great.
The cities and counties and all the different agencies that make it up what it is to make sure we have the best chance to get information out, to be prepared, to mitigate, to have a plan, to make sure our citizens are safe and try to do the best we can to protect their assets and do the best we can to recover. The recovery aspect is, the storm itself is one thing. We know that's here and gone within a few days, the biggest part of recovery.
Right.
As we know, they take years. Hurricane Andrew and Homestead, it took Homestead
Still.
10 years.
Let's face it.
Still, but
still.
10 years to recover.
Yeah.
Monroe,
Huge.
the cities and counties did a really good job after Irma. I got to say, they got back on their feet pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the pressure was there because this community relies on tourism. And if it's not intact, how can we survive? And I got to say, they knocked it out of the park on getting back on our feet.
Right. Now, two questions. One, did we do well with the drill? I mean, do you feel like you and the other guys that y'all got together, hunkered down, and made this happen? I mean, you're feeling like we're prepared for.
Well, I like to think so. We like to think we're always hurricane prepared because we're in a hurricane zone area. And most of my commanders, my lieutenants and captains, have all been here 30-plus years. So I have a very experienced team of leaders who have been through hurricane after hurricane after hurricane, and just went through the big one.
Yeah.
But, it doesn't matter what the storm is. You always get a curveball from Mother Nature.
Sure.
Yeah.
Overall, I think we're pretty good. When we were teams all sat together, all seemed happy and ready to roll, and we think we have a good plan. But what they say about the best plans,
Mice and men.
we had the best plans for Irma, but when the crap hits the fan, then those plans kind of halfway go out the window. You got to crisis manage. You got to make decisions on the fly. We got to make stuff happen. Sheriff's office is focused on, like we say, mission oriented.
Things change.
We got to redirect and figure out how are we going to accomplish this mission.
Right.
Versus, oh my God, the plan is not in the plan. The plan says it's supposed to be something different.
Plan's an outline.
Yeah. Hurricane doesn't care about the plan.
We're like, okay, we have to adapt and overcome. Okay,
Right.
we got to solve this problem. So I think the sheriff's office will always be ready. We're always, whether I'm here or not just because of Rick Ramsey. Law enforcement are geared towards, somehow solving the crisis, no matter whether it be gasoline tanker overturns, whether it be, some big huge fire or the bridge blows up. Somehow, law enforcement always steps up and always gets the job done. And firefighters, law enforcement, that's our job. That's what we train every day. We live. Whether it be a firefighter, paramedic, police officer, is to get the job done and protect life, limb, property in that order, and be focused on trying to be there no matter what.
Well, and the bonus question here was, for both of you guys.
Right. This is you, Corey.
Looking back, and leave it alone. Come on. No pressure. Nice. Trying to draw Corey out of his shell.
Come on, guys. That's not a problem. I'm just overpowering him.
It's the ninja game where I'm in that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Mind meld. Looking back on Irma, have you both had moments where you kind of went, wow, we made this happen?
Oh, yeah. No, most definitely. Well, Mike, you made a great point. It's an outline.
Right.
And that's what happened with this whole thing. We were moving assets around our boats and our signs and stuff, trying to get those things secured. We were down at one point, and then we're back up with this stuff. But the bottom line came down is that we lost communications, and we had some issues with that. However, I think, and I think the sheriff is going to be able to testify with this too. He relied on his commanders. He knew that we knew what to do with it.
Sure.
So we were down almost for 2 days where we could really talk. Well, we ended up all meeting together down in Marathon to get a good game plan of where we're at, what we're doing, what resources we need, what have we used, and it worked. Now, the communication effort that we're working on now to try to get our system working properly and where we're going to be able to stay up for the entire time, it's actually in the process now. So
right.
I think that's going to get easier and better for us. But again, he had the confidence in us where he knew that we were going to be able to take care of ourselves and of all of our troops.
Sure.
And it worked out good. We were able to do that. Again, it's a hiccup. It was an outline, and we just moved right on through it. It worked out really good, I felt.
Right.
I'd say interesting what Corey's talking about, elaborate on. As we know, we lost total communications countywide. Sheriff's office, no different. We lost police radios, phones, computers.
That's got to be a moment,
Internet.
For guys in your situations where it's
Communications key.
Right.
boy,
We had zero ability to communicate with anybody
right.
outside of a small little area. Our radios were basically like a walkie-talkie.
Sure.
Line of sight, nothing.
That's it.
So when this happened, we all had the same problem countywide. First thing was the roads were impassable everywhere between seaweed and cars and boats and sand. Well, I couldn't be the coach and give the plan out to my quarterbacks. So I had to rely on them, and I knew that it could do it.
Yeah.
So only I was a marathon, and there I gave some orders and directions, and my first stuff was, we have to get this road open. So we commandeered every piece of equipment we could find. In the sheriff's office, we even have some demilitarized stuff from the government just for this, front-end loaders. I specifically get from the government and I store it in case I need it because I can't rely on anybody else. We have to figure the first 72 hours after a hurricane, you're on your own.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, in fact, I just bid on a piece of another front-end loader from the government. It's in Mississippi to try to get it. It's like it costs like $1,000 for a front-end loader.
Right.
And I keep them maintained so we can clear the roads. We have to put the blade down and just go and clear a path. So I could take care of Marathon. I got landscapers and contractors I knew and word of mouth.
Sure.
I had a bunch of guys show up in the morning. We said, we're going to clear the airport first, and we're going to clear US 1 second.
Yep.
But my commanders in the Islamorada, Key Largo, and Lower Key Station, I couldn't talk to them.
Right.
But these are smart men and women. They had the same plan. Well, while I was doing it here, in my geographic area, I can control Corey, Finelli, Ramirez, down south, Catala, my teams, they were doing the same thing. They commandeered every piece of heavy equipment there was. Their goal is we have to get one lane through US 1 so emergency vehicles, police, fire, rescue can move for SAR missions, search and rescue.
Sure. Right.
If we can't get somewhere, we can't help people.
Right.
No doubt.
So we figured, okay, we have no communications. That's just the way it is. Okay, well, we hate to say that way. It's not good for officer safety, but at one time, police had no communications. They had call boxes. They had to go a mile to a key to open up a call box to try to call.
Right.
Just the way it was. Military, sometimes you're on your own.
Sure.
And what we did in one area, my commanders did exactly the same thing. I didn't have communication with the other areas probably for 2-3 days before we were able to actually sit down and meet and talk and then try to give out some better forms of limited communications. But in the day when we talked, we were doing the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
All 4 parts of the county, all 4 teams on the same sheet of music.
Well, that's great.
And that's just...
Plan your work your plan.
Right. Yeah, right.
What amazed me was when Sea Oaks Beach, mile marker 74, which is probably, I think, the closest that the water comes to the street. That thing was just a mountain of sand.
It was.
The fact that you guys were able to get it clear as soon as you were.
And I give Terry Abel and the fire guys all the credit with that. They did a great job. They had this already on standby. They were ready to roll with this stuff. It's like Rick's saying, too, our partnerships with them. I mean, we knew.
Can't beat it.
I came out in the morning while it was still blowing pretty hard, and there was guys out there on Bobcats and front end loaders, like the sheriff was saying, moving stuff around. I'm like, I said I couldn't believe it. Power company, Jason and his guys were out there away trying to get stuff set up. They were running down to Marathon because they had an issue at the school and stuff. So they were actually, everybody was working well as a team, and I think that was the key to this whole thing because, in my opinion, I thought we did a really, really good job with this whole storm. And not just the sheriff's office, but I think everybody that was involved in it, working, the public trying to work with us and understanding, the issues that we were having. I mean, we had one gas station that was basically running and open.
Yeah. Utilities stepped up for this, too,
they were.
time.
The co-op was amazing.
Yeah.
You can't say enough about them with stuff either, but everybody working together on this whole thing, it worked out really, really well. And I think if we hadn't had that, we probably would have still been shut down for a lot longer. I mean, the sheriff was adamant that we get the road up, and we need to get going. We need to be able to get people down here. And it wasn't just because, they need to get down and check their homes. You needed the resources and stuff down here. You needed to have the grocery stores and stuff. But like we were talking, one of the biggest things that you can do, it creates an anxiety when you can't get to your family or your house and stuff. And people were But he realized that, I feel, and I felt that it was a good thing, too. At the time, I was a little apprehensive, but realized, man, I wouldn't want to be away from my stuff. I wouldn't want to be down here.
Which brings me to a point, which I think you guys did a great job, because on top of trying to open the infrastructure, you still had policing to do.
Right.
And I think your control of the looting, especially down in Lower Keys, you guys did a phenomenal job.
They were great.
With curtailing that.
Cool. Something that causes us great anxiety here, Corey, is when our sponsors don't get to be on the air.
Okay.
We're
Speaking of looting,
Rick looks so serious. It's great.
I'm always serious.
Sheriff has to be serious all the time.
Harry knows that.
All right, we're going to take another break, folks. You're listening to the Florida Keys Real Estate Guys live on Radio A1A. Please go to Facebook and like us. We're kind of an insecure lot.
We are.
Require your validation, and we'll be right back. Stay with us.
This is your Key West Honorary Mayor, Gonzo Mays, and you're listening to Radio A1A, music for the road to paradise. So damn the carnations, full speed ahead.
If you're a realtor, or if you're buying a home or selling a home, maybe you're thinking about buying a piece of land to build on. One thing you need to consider in any real estate transaction is title. You want to be sure there are no surprises ahead. Getting clear title and title insurance is the one and only job of Sunshine Title of the Keys. Sunshine Title for escrow, closings, and title insurance done right. Call Jenny at Sunshine Title, 305-451-0032 today.
This is Jeff Brewer's song, Blink of an Eye, and it's kind of a special little treat for us. Harry, do your deal.
When you see the storm coming, you don't know what to do, 'cause all those early warnings hardly ever come true. So you prepare just a little, 'cause you've seen it all before. With a zig and a zag, it's a Category 4. The house shivers and it shakes. You hold on to each other. Maybe take you a pill. Maybe hide beneath the covers. You know it isn't over when you see it slowing down. The worst is yet to come. The worst is coming round. And your life can change in an instant. Your life may never be the same, and your life can change in the blink of an eye of a hurricane. Sometimes I wonder if I was too lazy. Sometimes I wonder if we should have tried to leave. Sometimes I wonder if I'm going crazy from what these storms in life will make you believe. Early next morning, can't believe what you see. It blew down your mailbox, it blew down the trees. You think of your loved ones, you wish you could call, but nothing is working, no connections at all. And your life has changed in an instant. Your life may never be the same. And your life is changed in the blink of an eye of a hurricane. That damn hurricane.
Hey, Radio A1A listeners, this is Mykael Marinelli, the Real Estate Conch, wishing you tropical vibes.
There's that music again.
There it is.
We're back
on in.
This is Florida Keys Real Estate Guys live on Radio A1A. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube, we sure appreciate your coming along. And this guy's singing about Facebook. I'm so confused.
Yeah. There's a song for everything.
That it is.
Yeah. Doing my best Doc Brown impression today, folks.
Wow.
So
There's a shout-out.
thank you for coming along. We really appreciate you being here. We are joined by Captain Corey Bryan from Monroe County Sheriff Rick Ramsey from Monroe County.
Thank you.
And we've gotten through crime rate. Things are looking good. New season. Everything's going well.
Yay.
Put it up there. Also, Hurricane, the drill that just went through today, actually.
Today, yes.
This morning.
Right.
Down a marathon went well. Evident we survived the drill.
Yes.
That's always
We
good.
made it.
So now, oh boy. Now we're going to find out, are we going to survive if we have, any kind of storm activity this year? I don't know what the usually USGS and the other guys out in Gray, Colorado, whatnot, have got their predictions out by now.
I think they anticipated that there's going to be less storms than last year, but it's still going to be an active season. I just read that this morning.
Okay.
So. That seems like a real half-ass way.
I know, right?
No
It's going to be bad, but not really bad.
Yeah, really.
End of the day is these things are just a guessing game.
Yeah.
It's
it feels
best
like they
case
should
scenario.
just sit out there, the headline duck. And there you go.
Playing darts.
Yeah.
It does.
The biggest thing we always talk about is being prepared.
Sure.
Is people planning ahead and having a plan. Even at work, we have our employees to have a personal hurricane plan.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And our stations are well. All our commanders right now have finished up their updates to their hurricane plans. Every station, division, unit all have a hurricane plan. And we look at them, go through, and make sure we're okay with it and what the plan's going to be in regards to the safety of their assets,
right?
Their people, where they're going to go, what they're going to do, how it's going to go. And we make a lot of decisions kind of on the fly, too, based on what's happening.
You have to.
Like,
I don't think you have any choice,
well,
do you?
we really haven't evacuated personnel in the past, but we saw the last storm coming, and that one time was the highest recorded storm ever in the Atlantic.
Yeah.
It came up so fast that we just didn't want to have our personnel on shelters or refuge last resorts in harm's way.
Right.
And besides that, their cars. We have to save we have to save the fleet. Our personnel are number one, but without a fleet, we can't do the post job.
Right. That's a good analogy. You don't think about
that. Can't get around.
So I decided, which we've never done, to evacuate all the men and women out of the county last minute, their cars. But also I evacuated at the jail, which we've never in the history of the sheriff's office evacuated at the jail.
Did you catch some heat for that?
I catch heat for everything.
Just lets it roll off his shoulders.
Want to break the tension there a little.
There you go.
I did, but it was still the right thing to do.
Yeah.
And the reality is the main jail was a Cat 5 building. I thought the building would survive, but I did not believe that the infrastructure that supported the jail would be intact. Mm-hmm. And what I can't have is 600 prisoners there with a dead building.
Sure. Not a good idea.
And it was, and no hospitals. Hospitals all shut down.
Right.
Sure.
No medical attention. No nothing. And at the end of the day, when it was over, we had no power, no water, no gray water pumps, which means you can't flush toilets.
Right.
Can't do showers. We lost the main power, lost the generators. We lost the elevators, the sally ports, the communications at the jail. So we wouldn't be able to get anybody in or out of the jail.
Sure.
The food. We had 10 days worth of food, but it expired because of the generators went out.
Right, like refrigeration.
There's no air conditioning, so summertime, without AC, that building would get 100-something degrees in the building.
Ugly.
You're worried about smells and boils and communicable problems. Every officer would have quit. Mm-hmm. People would have been in medical emergencies dying, but I had no resources to get them out of here.
Right.
We had no we evacuated all our Trauma Star helicopters.
Right.
All the fire rescues were shut down. The hospitals are shut down. What am I going to do? Let people die in the facility?
No.
And all the agitation just being in that kind of environment with folks who might not be.
Well, it's bad enough for now.
Exactly.
Mykael, I would have had 95% of my staff quit right there.
Right.
So, end of the day, it was the right decision.
Smart move.
No one got hurt.
Right.
No one escaped. They were all safe out of harm's way, and we can focus our energy on other matters, more pressing, trying to somehow get the road open and start doing search and rescue missions. I had prisoners out of town for about 2.5 weeks up in Palm Beach County. Wasn't popular by the officers because didn't want to go up there and be there. But it was the right decision.
Sure.
Now, the main heat I took for the most part was that I waited too late to make the decision.
Right.
But it's always easy to mind that quarterback somebody. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
Hindsight's always 20.
At one time, if you remember, the cone, first it was going to be up in Palm Beach.
Oh, yeah.
Then it was Dade.
Yeah.
Then it was, Broward. Then it was Dade. Then it was Ocean Reef.
I thought for sure Ocean Reef was the one that was going to get it.
And they kept saying, it's definitely going to get it. All the predictions. But at one time, the safest place in all of Florida was basically a big cop at to Key West.
Right.
Because the cone was everywhere else in Florida.
Right.
Are you going to evacuate into a path of a storm? That'd be ridiculous.
Right. Yeah.
The only place that was not in the cone at all was Key West.
Right.
Well, as it moved down, and I figured, okay, we're going to get it because the storm's too big to make a drastic shift. It's like trying to turn an aircraft carrier in a canal. It ain't going to happen.
Yeah.
So I made the point, okay, we're going to get the big one. And I don't believe the infrastructure in that building is going to survive. The building will be there. I can't jeopardize 600 inmates and 150 personnel.
Right.
I have to focus my energy on Monroe.
Right.
May get them out just like everybody else. Get your mother, get your grandmother, get your kids. If you're staying, get those people out of the way so you can focus on what you have to do.
Right.
So I got the prisoners out, detention deputies out, my patrol officers, my fleet. Only thing left here was a skeleton crew. I stayed. I stayed at the shelter myself. And I had a few of my commanders who said, hey, if you're staying, we're staying with you.
Yeah.
You know, and all my line personnel left for the most part. But in every geographic area, I had my XOCOs, my command staff, who said, we're going to ride it out. They had the option, but, you know, we're going to stay here and we're with you. And we're going to be here to, when the wind stops, get out there and start assessing and getting a plan. So when the troops show back up, we can immediately say, we need this, this, and this. You there. Take a squad of officers, go over here. And we did that. And it took us, because the roads were blocked.
Sure.
It took me a day and a half, 2 days to be able to get my fleet and personnel back. So for the first short time, there was only a few of us. I was out patrolling, you know, and trying to do stuff, you know, before, during, and after the hurricane. We actually had to go out for a rescue during the hurricane for a car crash where someone died in hurricane conditions.
Yeah, right.
We took two-man units for somebody who crashed his truck over 100 miles an hour in the hurricane and died.
Oh, right.
But, so back to the story is, you know, at the end of the day, while I took heat for it, it was the right decision. Hands down, I have zero question about it. But you know how it is. Anything you do post-emergency, people are going to pick apart everything. Sure. Well, they should have done this. They should have done this. Well, this is stupid. Okay, well, one day you'll be in charge. And
Monday morning quarterback.
Right.
But until then, I'm paid to make the decisions.
Right.
And you know, I stand by my decisions. Well, if they're right, let's stand by it. But if they're wrong, then I accepted that I made the call, and if it was a wrong call, it's on me. You know, as a leader, you got to step up, and you try to make decisions you think are right.
Yep.
The majority of the time, I think I make right decisions, but I'm not perfect. Everybody else, sometimes I look back and say, man, I wish I wouldn't have done that, or maybe I should have done this. You know, I evaluate myself, and it's hard to evaluate yourself.
Right.
But
what are we going to see different from you guys should we face another Irma?
Okay, well, you say you guys, the biggest thing in the sheriff's office, our plans haven't changed much. You know, our plans remain the same.
It's a loving way to say law enforcement.
Right. And some things are difficult, like the reentry. You know, people were really mad at the sheriff's office because they couldn't get back in.
Right.
But we tried to tell your listeners, Rick Ramsey doesn't decide that you evacuate.
Right.
That's the call from the county. They call for an evacuation.
Right.
When they call it, it's the sheriff's office responsibility to make sure it's smooth, orderly, and safe as possible and get the people out.
Carry it out.
But when the hurricane's over, Rick Ramsey doesn't say, okay, you can come in or you can't come in. Right. Rick Ramsey and his team are the enforcement.
Exactly. And that's
to carry out orders, directions from the county and the city leaders who say, we're not ready, we can't take them, don't let them in yet.
Right.
And I'm one of 5 votes that make a decision. It's the fire chief, the sheriff, the emergency management director, the mayor, and the county administrator are the ones that are making decisions. So I'm 20% of the vote. So I tell people, if you're going to be mad at this vote, just be mad at me 20%.
But that's what you guys do. You guys don't make the laws or the decisions. You guys enforce them. And you guys are doing a job that you're basically ordered to do.
Basically, I'm not a legislative branch. I'm an executive branch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
My job is not to make the laws or rules or regulations, but enforce them, make sure they're enforced. But same thing, the county government, they say, no, we don't want to keep a roadblock. We don't want anybody in there. My job is to make sure no one comes in unless they're authorized to come in.
Right.
My job isn't to decide, okay, you can come in. You know, people who stayed didn't want anybody to come back in. They said, we can't take care of ourselves. There's no food, no water, no gas.
Right.
Don't let them in.
Well, I didn't want them coming in to eat my steaks.
People who were in the outer county wanted to come in, were angry.
Yeah.
And then as we let people in, we were getting beat up. You shouldn't let them back in. You know, we can't. There are going to be looters, there are going to be criminals involved. My stance all along was I wanted people, and I was open about it, that I wanted people in early because I wanted homeowners to be able to go back and take care of their property, save what they can, secure their roof, pick up something before someone grabs it.
Right.
But, once again, we're worried about down power lines, accessibility to get back to neighborhoods. It took a long time to get the side streets opened up.
Sure.
And we have to have utility workers trying to put power up there. We have water going everywhere. We have some places that have feces that, the sewer septic tanks overfill. You've got, health department issues here.
Right.
We know we had no food and no water and no shelter, and there was really no resource. We barely could take care of the people who were truly here. So that was a true concern. I had the concern.
Sure.
But my bigger concern was, look, someone comes back. I can't have a family living in a car at the Homestead track for 2 weeks in a car, or they can't afford to be in a hotel for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I still said if it was me, I'd want to be, if I owned a house. If I'm a renter, stay out. But, I wanted people to get back. If my house, I want to get back and see what's left and save what I can, fix what I can.
Sure.
And also I wanted people who had businesses to try to salvage their businesses and maybe open up a limited basis to have a little bit of gas, maybe a little grocery, a little something.
Right.
We have to as soon as we can, we have to start getting some sense of normalcy back going.
Absolutely.
You got to crawl before you can walk.
We got to. So, in those type of decisions, you will never make everyone happy when you're making decisions on those magnitude level. Maybe a micro level, but when you're talking, that level.
Yeah, it's big.
And people are frustrated. Sure. They're aggravated. They want to bent on somebody. And sometimes you're the punching bag. And, I took a lot of crap, but that's part of being in charge sometimes.
And I know you guys also keep in mind that, that storm hit early September. Mm-hmm. You've still got a couple more months left of the season.
Right.
I mean, one thing we learned is, Wilma came through late October.
Yep.
Right. You never know. It's never over till it's over. So I think it's an important thing to get people in so that they can secure their property, get rid of some stuff that that could become issues later on down the line.
I'll tell you one other thing real quick with that. What ended up happening was that everybody was frustrated for maybe 2 or 3 days. And then everybody started working together. Yeah. And they realized, these are their neighbors, these are their friends, these are people that they need to have help and assist them. So they did. And it was like one of those fleeting things where everybody was really upset. Some of the people in our communities and stuff up here. But in the end, everybody was working together, watching out for each other, taking care of each other, doing what they needed to do, which is what this whole community has always been about. And it's really, really good. So I think... I agree with the sheriff. He probably took some heat on it and stuff, but I'm not sure that it was really warranted in that respect, because when you stopped and looked at it in the end, everybody knew what they needed to do and how to help each other, and that was very important.
On that note, folks, gentlemen, time is our enemy here today.
Yeah, it is.
Sheriff Rick Ramsey, Captain Corey Bryan. Guys, thank you so much.
Really appreciate being here.
You will be coming back.
We'll be back here.
We've eaten up our allotment of time today. So, but Rick and Corey, thank you.
We appreciate it,
guys. Thank you.
This is
great information.
Really a pleasure having you on here and giving us an insight to this whole hurricane mechanism and life in the Keys that you don't normally get, folks. So this is the bonus plan here
from the guys who do it firsthand.
Absolutely. So thank you so much. We will take another break. When we come back, you're going to get a look at his special listings.
Yes.
Yada, yada, yada. Don't go away.
Good job, Mike.
Guys, thank you.
Hope that was okay.
You guys were great.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you so much. That was...
Florida Keys is a chain of islands known for its crystal blue waters, famous for sports fishing, world-class diving, and its laid-back atmosphere. Nestled between the Everglades National Park and the National Marine Sanctuary, the Keys are home to a precious and rare ecosystem found nowhere else. Here you will also find world-class dining featuring fresh from the dock seafood, as well as other chef-prepared culinary favorites. The Florida Keys has the feel of a quaint seaside village with a laid-back vibe, taking you worlds away from everyday cares. Stunning coastal-inspired homes line the shores of the islands, offering spectacular sunset views. Whether you start your day taking in the sunrise on your oceanfront veranda or heading out on the water for an adventure, the Keys has something to offer everyone. American Caribbean Real Estate, your Christie's International Real Estate Brokerage, knows that our island lifestyle is just as important as the home, and we are prepared to match you to the right property to fit your lifestyle. As the local Christie's International Real Estate affiliate, we have the powerful backing of the network, including 1,300 offices worldwide, and the only real estate company owned by a premier auction house. This, added to our local market expertise, makes American Caribbean Real Estate the right agency to assist you in finding your piece of paradise in the Florida Keys.
There we go. Hello. We love that live aspect of radio and video.
Yes,
but welcome back to the Florida Keys Real Estate Guys Live. That was a great segment we had with our law enforcement guys.
Absolutely.
And, that's a key component when we're talking about a lot of things here in the county, and that helps us with our real estate, which we're going to do our real estate segment that we have right now. And this property that you're looking at, if you're watching on YouTube, is our great property on Old Highway, 88887 Old Highway. It is a beautiful 3-bedroom, 2-bath, totally updated, brand new, and I mean like only months old, windows, doors, impact, metal roof, the most incredible cheeky you've ever seen at a residential home, and a waterfall pool that's just gorgeous. As I mentioned, 3.3. It's a phenomenal price of $669,000. And if you're looking for something, brand new kitchen, brand new baths that you can walk right into, enjoy yourself, or even potentially rent out when you're not using, this thing would be a phenomenal income-producing property when you're not using it. If you're deciding not to make this your full-time residence, although I think when you see it, you'll want to make it your full-time residence. So a great property right in Isla Mirada on what we call Millionaires Row. So if you'd like more information on that, I'd be happy to give it to you. And we're going to go next to a really awesome property. Then one of the best properties I've ever had the opportunity to list. It is on Old Overseas Highway in Key Largo. It is a 2.25 acre estate that we have. It's a 4-bedroom, 4-bath beachfront with a huge finger pier that has a seaplane dock. That's what we call the property Aero Largo.
Nice.
So it's, as I mentioned, it's 3 bedrooms in the main house, plus a detached guest house. It's an amazing guest suite that you have. Beautiful pool. This property's been used, and you can see why, for countless modeling shoots, TV commercials, just all kinds of publicity's gone on at this particular property. And it is a phenomenal, in the terms of value, it's $3,699,000. And I know that might sound like a large price tag, but when you compare this property on the world stage, which this one certainly can compete, that's actually a pretty darn good value when you're looking at the Florida Keys for getting this type of property, which is unheralded when you take a look at it. Another property that we have that's another awesome house is right in White Marlin Beach subdivision here in Lower Matacumbe Key. This is our property at 125 Venetian Drive. It has 70 feet of dockage, and it's just been built. They just got their CO, and it has 3 bedrooms upstairs plus a separate guest suite downstairs. Again, all brand new, new kitchen, new baths, everything's new, impact windows, metal roof, in an awesome subdivision that has its own sandy beach, which is a true rarity that we have down here in the Keys. So something to really enjoy. You want to go in the afternoon and take a dip out there. You come back in, you got your boat in the backyard in a brand new house. And that one's currently available for $1,175,000. And it's close for great fishing on either Oceanside or Bayside. You have your choice that you can be out to either of the fishing grounds really quickly. So some great properties that we have for sale. There's going to be some new stuff coming up pretty soon as well. So give me a call if you're looking at property here in the Florida Keys. Give us a call. We can certainly assist you all throughout the Keys and find you your dream oasis.
There you go.
That's yours to have.
Yeah. Buy it from him.
Yes, please
That's
do.
The way to go. Thanks to Sunshine Title and Ginny Pinnell and those
Thank you,
gals
ladies.
up there. Thank you to Heartbreakers Brewhouse here and the Florida Keys Real Estate Guys. We make it happen every week.
Yes, we do.
Thanks for coming along. We'll see you next Monday.
Tropical vibes.